You're listening to Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. Our show provides listeners with an insider perspective of Texas A&M Athletics and its greatest supporters. This podcast will bring you exclusive interviews with coaches, athletes, donors, and the dedicated staff of Aggie Athletics and the 12th Man Foundation. You ready? Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to Answering the Call. This is your host, Ivy Robinson, and today I am sitting in studio joined by Texas A&M Soccer midfielder Taylor Pounds. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Taylor.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited for this conversation today.
Yes.
It's going to be great. Taylor, to start the episode, can you just tell our listeners where you're from? Let's talk about your background, your family, where you went to high school. Let's start there.
Yeah, so I'm from the Woodlands, Texas. I went to Klein Oak High School, and I grew up like a part of an Aggie family. My dad went to school here. My oldest sister, Haley, was also a player on the women's soccer team. So I kind of got to see her journey and how much she enjoyed it here. And now I'm here, and my younger brother is on the golf team here now. So
I am so glad you brought that up. That's something I wanted to ask you about is like I knew you had an older sister. You said Haley, and then I knew about your brother as well on men's golf. So very athletic family and a very athletic Aggie family, which is even better. What's the dynamic between you and your sister and your brother and getting to share the fact that y'all are Aggie student athletes? That's really neat.
Yeah.
So
I think we've all just like grown even closer. Like we all have similar experiences and, like run into like the same people or I don't know, just like the community around here is so amazing. And so, yeah, I think we've definitely just like grown as siblings together because we're all like in the same boat or we're in the same boat at some point. So, yeah.
Do you ever get to watch your brother play golf? Do you have those opportunities often or is it
I've watched him one time. It's just tough because they're always traveling for tournaments, but I definitely want to get out there and watch him. So yeah, it's awesome.
What a cool dynamic. That's awesome. So you're from the Woodlands. Tell me about what it was like growing up there. What do you like about the Woodlands and Klein Oak? What was the high school like?
So Klein Oak was a big high school. I mean, I met some of my best friends there, so that was probably like the best thing to come out of high school. But yeah, I loved growing up in the Woodlands. I feel like it was very like a safe town. Like it's kind of like a bubble.
And not far from here.
Yeah.
So that's nice too.
Yeah.
When did you first get involved in sports? Do you remember when you first started playing soccer?
From like a very young age, I feel like I started playing every sport there was. And then in high school, I was kind of like, okay, I need to narrow down my options and really just focus on one sport. And soccer just like brought me the most joy. And so, yeah, I kind of stuck with it. And that led me to where I am today. So
that's really cool. So soccer, what is it about soccer specifically that you just love? Like the game, what excites you?
I just love being like a part of a team and just everyone giving their all for each other. I don't know, out of all the sports I played, just like the running and the physicality and all of that just attracted me to soccer, I think.
So who is Taylor Pounds outside of soccer today? And if you have free time, what are you most likely doing?
I'm probably hanging with my friends. I love to play pickleball now. That's my new hobby I picked up. So, yeah, probably doing that or, I don't know, love to shop and just all that.
Where do you go play pickleball? Where's your favorite spot to play?
Traditions. There's some good courts over there. So
nice. Taylor, how would you describe yourself as an individual?
I would say I'm very hardworking, dedicated, like a good shoulder to lean on. Like I'm always there for anyone. And I guess just like very like steady and reliable.
Those are great qualities to have, definitely for sure. So was it always a goal for you to play soccer in college? Like when was the first moment you knew, hey, I want to do this on a collegiate level?
Yeah, I think like in high school and kind of like getting to see my sister obviously play at the next level, I aspired to be like her and reach that level. So it was such an exciting moment when I committed to play here.
Do you have a favorite memory growing up, like coming to watch her play? Anything that stands out to you?
Well, when I went on my visit here, it was fun because Haley was on the team at that time. So it was just funny getting to like see her in the locker room and being a goofball with all her teammates. I was like, whoa, like this could be me one day. I just remember that day and thinking that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
So
so it really gave you a good picture of like what that life could be like.
yeah, exactly.
That's really neat. So your sister was obviously a key factor that really influenced your decision to come here. Were there any other things about Texas A&M? I mean, obviously Aggie family, but was there anything about the soccer program or things you had heard that made you think, hey, this is the university for me? Like, this is the program for me?
I think the traditions of A&M really attracted me here. Like I've always heard like Aggies helping Aggies and just the Aggie network is so large and I knew I would be set up after college just from coming to A&M. And I think also like on the soccer side, the coaches, just getting to know them, they're such great people and I just knew I wanted to play for them.
When you got here, finally, as a student athlete, what was your first impression of Texas A&M? Like, how did it feel to know that it was now your time to be playing for the maroon and white and your time to be a college student? What was that like, kind of filling in your sister's footsteps?
Yeah, it was really exciting. I would say I was a little nervous because I don't want to be compared to her, like whatever I do on the field. So I think just making a name for myself and just giving my all and doing my part on the field for my teammates, that was my ultimate goal. Just to,
Yeah,
just
to
like
like make your
separate
own
myself
mark.
from her. Yeah, and make
Yeah.
my own mark.
So, what are you studying here at A&M? What's your major?
Accounting.
Woo!
Yeah, so a lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers. Like, I mean, are you always studying at
Wayner.
Wayner?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, yeah, they're a lot because the classes are
They're
kind of
tough.
difficult.
Accounting's tough. I took a few accounting classes at A&M, and they're definitely they're not
They're not for
for the
the
faint
weak.
of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for the weak.
Yeah.
Why did you choose accounting? What led
I
you to
think
go that
I
way?
always knew I wanted to do something in business, but I came into school with kind of an open mind and just took all of the intro level courses just to like see what I liked and what I was good at. And I remember being in the like intro accounting course with some of my teammates and we were all studying and they were like, Taylor, like, why is this coming so easy to you? Can you tutor us? And I was like, sure. And so I was like, okay, wait, I'm good at this. Most people aren't and don't enjoy it. Like, it's kind of enjoyable if it's coming natural. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll stick with accounting. I can do anything with it. Like, I don't have to be an accountant. I can start my own business or do something.
Absolutely. That's a really good like foundational degree that can propel you to different
Yeah,
types of careers
exactly.
and opportunities. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. What is it like balancing the life of being a student and an athlete from your perspective? How do you stay on top of all of it? Because I'm sure both schedules and the demands of juggling those lives and those demands
Yeah.
is it's tough.
I would say I'm such a planner, like calendar person. I'm always scheduling when I need to do things and prioritizing when my work needs to be done. I mean, I try and have a good balance during the soccer season and with school and everything, like still making time for like friends and whatever. But it definitely is hard. I just have to prioritize what's most important. So,
Time
yeah.
management.
Yep.
Just stick to that calendar.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite classes?
My favorite class was probably business law, which is random, but I actually enjoyed it. So,
Yeah. Is there any like topic in that class that really stood out to
I
you?
don't know. I think it was just the professor. Like, he just made it really
Like a
enjoyable. He
fun
was a
time.
funny guy. So,
Yeah. So, staying on the topic of academics, Taylor, you're a 1922 Fund Scholarship recipient. And for those who are listening, the 1922 Fund is our scholarship endowment at the Tolpin Foundation, and it's our goal to give every single student athlete a scholarship through that endowment. So, what did it mean to you when you received that scholarship and to know like you would get to come here, get an education from a prestigious university like Texas A&M while simultaneously playing the sport you love? What did that mean to you?
yeah, it really means a lot. I think having such a great support system at A&M has been the biggest blessing. Like, getting to form those relationships with the donors and also see them at your games. It's just like such a special thing about A&M. And yeah, I just felt really like grateful and blessed to come here and get to play the sport I love and get a degree.
Have you, during your time here at Texas A&M, have you experienced any specific setbacks that were really challenging for you to overcome? And in that, if you did, were there any resources, whether that's mental health resources or like sports medicine resources that really helped you get over those setbacks?
Yeah, so last spring I like had like a pretty bad foot injury, and so I had to get surgery and obviously take the rest of the spring season off and then that next fall. So that was definitely tough cuz I hadn't gotten injured in college before, but really leaning into like the sports therapist and everything, they helped get my mind in check and kind of just like help me know that this setback will only like propel me further. And I definitely like grew a deeper love for my sport. Just being apart from it for that period made me want to come back even better and stronger. So yeah, although it was a setback, I think it was for the best.
That's right. Those setbacks can, like you said, just propel us and set us up for even greater success.
Yeah,
Like you come back even stronger.
totally.
And I'm sure like even more motivated to be like, hey, I've been healing. My body's ready to go, like
Yeah.
rejuvenated now. So ready to get back out there, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How would you, so talking about the team this year, how would you describe the culture of the team specifically for this year?
I feel like this is like the most like tight knit team that I've been a part of this year. Like seriously, there's no cliques. Like everyone will hang out with anyone. I don't know. I just feel like we're just a bunch of like sisters out there and like are always rooting for each other, want the best for each other, which is definitely really rare. It's really special. And I feel like if you are in a room with all of us, you can tell we all genuinely love and care for each other, which is awesome.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, definitely. Like it's so needed for a team culture and that camaraderie. Like that's just gonna pour over onto the field, right? Like
Totally.
if y'all
Yeah.
enjoy each other outside
Mhm.
of practice and outside of the games, like
Yeah. We're all just working hard for one another,
right,
which is
right.
awesome.
That's great. Do you have any specific goals for yourself this season?
Well, the main one is win a national championship. But I think for myself, just score more goals, take more shots. Sometimes I feel like I try and play it safe and just complete my pass or whatever. And this year, just give it all you got. Like, take your shot because what's the worst that can happen?
I heard that this year the motto is now.
Yeah.
Like bring it now.
Bring it now.
And so I feel like
Yeah.
that goes well with that.
Totally. Yes.
So you mentioned the staff and how the coaches here, it was a big part of your decision to come here. Are there any specific staff members, coaches that really have pushed you to become an even better version of yourself?
Yeah, I would say Phil, the assistant coach, he just does like such a great job of getting to know his players outside of soccer. Like he genuinely wants to know you as a person and build that connection, which is awesome. And, it makes me want to work harder for them and just do everything I can to be the best player and athlete. So he's just been like a second like dad to me, which is awesome. Because I feel like I can go to him with literally whatever, soccer or outside life, anything, which is great.
So, Taylor, how do you think your time at Texas A&M has influenced your leadership abilities?
They have definitely improved. Like I just think being around such a great group of people has really like made me want to become a better person and become a better leader, not only on the field but off the field. So yeah, I think just like the culture and the values and everything like really place an emphasis on leadership and just doing the right thing, which
Yeah, and
really
I feel
special.
like across this university, Texas A&M, we're striving for excellence, and there's a standard here that students who come here, people who represent Texas A&M, like we are leaders. We want to be leaders, and we want to go out into this world and make a difference. What do you think you've learned from your time as a student athlete that will help you like in a future career one day?
I think definitely teamwork, discipline, compassion, or just the work ethic, honestly,
Yeah.
like having to juggle everything. I think that'll set me up well because most people haven't been student athletes. And when you get into the real world and you have to balance all of that stuff, I think you kind of have the upper hand because you've been doing that for 4 years.
Right. It's a heavy load to carry and a lot of responsibility. And so work ethic for sure, I feel like is such a great quality that our student athletes take on into the workforce. How do you think you have grown specifically from the time you first arrived at Texas A&M to where you are today, whether it's, as an athlete or just as an individual?
Yeah, I think my leadership definitely has grown. I feel like when I first got here, I was kind of just like scared to like speak up or I don't know, meet new people. And I think over my time here, I've definitely like made an effort to like be a leader and get to know different people and stick up for what's right and help our team grow in the right direction.
What would be your message to encourage someone who's maybe considering pursuing sports on a collegiate level, and maybe they're considering Texas A&M?
I would say that there is no greater support system. You will have the absolute best time and experience and just to like soak it all in, like take every day like day by day because it goes by so fast. So just really enjoy each moment and work hard and give it your all.
Last question for you.
Okay.
Coming from an Aggie family, why are you proud to be a Fighting Texas Aggie, and what does it mean to you to compete for the maroon and white?
I just think the values and traditions of A&M are so special, and getting to be a part of such a great university and surrounded by people who genuinely want the best for you and uplift you and support you through whatever is so special and so rare. So, yeah, it's just awesome to be a part of this.
Taylor Pound on Answering the Call podcast. Taylor, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us on another episode of Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. A special shout out to our incredible podcast producer, Megan Hoffman, and the 12th Man Productions for their generous use of this studio. We also extend our heartfelt gratitude to every donor and season ticket holder for always answering the call through loyal support of Texas A&M Athletics and our student athletes. We will be back soon with more content. Thanks, and gig 'em.